All right, let's go on a little creative journey today, shall we? We're going to talk about how to take that spark of inspiration you get from something you love and really transform it into a completely original, cinematic, and yeah, even monetizable video, all by using the power of AI.
You know that feeling, right? You're scrolling online, you see this absolutely incredible video with a stunning visual style, and you just think, wow, I want to make something that feels like that. But then, like a second later, another thought hits you. But how? How do I do that without just copying them? How do I make it my own? That exact feeling, that creative knot, that's what we're going to untangle today.
So here's our roadmap, our game plan. First, we're going to talk about something I call the inspiration trap. Then, we'll get into how to deconstruct the vibe of anything you see. After that, we'll walk through the digital alchemy workflow, talk about animating your vision, and finally, add that pro-level cinematic feel to make it all shine.
Okay, first up, the inspiration trap. This is a huge dilemma that honestly every single creator faces. Doesn't matter if you're just starting out or if you've been at this for years. It's really a two-sided problem.
So yeah, the dilemma is really twofold. On one hand, you've got the money issue. You see this amazing looking content and think you need a Hollywood budget and a massive team to pull it off. But then there's the other side, the originality problem. If you lean too hard into what inspired you, you risk just making a cheap copy, or worse, running into copyright trouble that gets your work demonetized. And nobody wants that.
So, how do we escape this trap? Well, it all starts with a really crucial shift in your mindset. It's a little principle I like to call aesthetic, not an asset. And trust me, this is the key that's going to unlock everything for you.
This right here breaks down the whole thing. Imitation, that's the trap. That's trying to copy the what? A specific character, an exact shot. It's a total dead end, creatively. But inspiration, that's about figuring out the why. Why does this piece feel the way it does? It's all about the colors, the style of lighting, the rhythm of the edit. This approach gives you a whole toolkit to build something that's 100% original.
Think of it like you're extracting the visual DNA of a project. So let's say you just love a futuristic tech noir style video. The answer isn't to copy its flying cars. No way. Instead, you identify its DNA. What's its color palette? Oh, it's all about those neon pinks and deep blues. The lighting? It's super high contrast and dramatic. And the mood? It feels kind of futuristic, a little dark, but still hopeful. See, these are the building blocks for your own unique creation.
All right, so once you've got that visual DNA figured out, you need a process to actually turn it into something new. This is what I call the digital alchemy workflow. And it's where we take those raw bits of inspiration and turn them into pure creative gold. And here's the path, step by step. First, you do the analysis we just talked about. Second, you brainstorm a completely new story using that aesthetic. And this part is absolutely key. You're not telling the same story, you're just using the same visual language. From there, you translate that into AI prompts, generate your visuals, and then assemble your totally original narrative. Now, that third step, prompt engineering, this is absolutely vital. You could think of this as the modern creator's paintbrush. It's the actual skill of describing not just what you want to see, but how you want it all to feel, using all those details about color, lighting, and mood that you picked out earlier.
Okay, so you've gone through the workflow, and now you have a folder full of these stunning, original, AI-generated images. That's fantastic. But we're making a video, not a slideshow, right? So let's talk about how to bring these static visuals to life. One of the absolute best and most effective techniques for this is parallax. I promise you, you've seen this everywhere. It's a pretty simple but incredibly powerful way to create this illusion of depth just by moving different layers of your image at different speeds. It immediately makes a flat, static image feel dynamic and way more three-dimensional. And honestly, you do not need to be some animation wizard to pull this off. The impact of just a slow, deliberate zoom in or a gentle pan across an image, it's massive. It tells the viewer where to look, it builds tension, and it totally transforms a simple picture into a living, breathing shot. These small movements are really the heartbeat of your video. So, we have our story, we have motion. Now it's time for the final stage, the polish. This is the fun part. This is where we take all our hard work and we elevate it from just a cool project into a truly cinematic experience. So let's look at some of the key ingredients here. Adding a subtle film grain overlay gives it texture. Those cinematic black bars or letterboxing instantly change the entire feel of the frame. You can add things like light leak effects for energy, And please, never forget about atmospheric sound design. Sound is at least half the experience. It's what really sells the mood and immerses your audience in the world you've built.
And just remember, these final touches, they aren't just for decoration. They're actually communicating something. They tie all of your shots together into one cohesive whole, creating this powerful aesthetic that grabs and holds on to people's attention. This is what makes your work really stand out.
And that, really, brings us to the core takeaway of this entire explainer. The goal is never to just replicate the surface of something you admire. It's to understand its soul, to figure out the elements that made you feel something, and then use that understanding to build something entirely new and entirely your own. That is the real path from inspiration to true originality.